So Dr. Chen, do you see it?
Yes, I see.
Okay, great. Okay, good evening, everybody. So this is the Shi Ban Gong Bei this month installment, and we will go through 10 additional new pearls today. We will review the previous pearls that we have gone through. Then we can have a question and answer discussion. Shi Ban Gong Bei is about Shi Ban Gong Bei's ancient Chinese saying about accomplishing twice the work in half the time. It's combining the wisdom of East and the West to accomplish things more successfully and efficiently. And you all can take a picture of the screen, which shows my address, my contact information, and also the free site link, both in the United States and in China. In chat room, as I said, I put my contact information there, as well as the next Vision Zoom, October 21st. Next, Shi Ban Gong Bei Zoom, which is November 19th, and also the site link in the chat room. So as I said, next Shi Ban Gong Bei Zoom is November 19th, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Typically is third Wednesday of every month. If you're interested in receiving a Shi Ban Gong Bei book, you can email me or Dr. Chen, the host, with your mailing address. And we'll mail you a free book of Shi Ban Gong Bei as a gift. In terms of my introduction, I just want to emphasize that I practice medicine in Nashville, Tennessee. I publish various books and paper, and also performing laser vision surgeries here in Nashville. I think most of you are familiar with my story, so I'm going to rush through very quickly. I grew up in China in the 1960s, and going through the Cultural Revolution, where I had to play an instrument, learning dancing to avoid labor camp. Then 1976, Cultural Revolution ended, and I was lucky to get into University of Science and Technology. And in 1982, came to America. I studied laser physics, PhD, and at University of Maryland, finished post at MIT. Then I enrolled in second doctorate degree MD program, studied at the Harvard Medical School and MIT. 1991, I finished, invited my parents over, so the film site is dedicated to them. The reason I got 2 doctorate degrees, one in medicine, one in laser physics, is medicine so fast developing today, and I feel I can be a unique laser eye surgeon, knowing not just medicine, but also the technology. I performed over 55,000 laser vision corrections, including on over 4,000 doctors. This is my graduation from Harvard MIT MD program. And I met then President Ronald Reagan as well. So in the film site, you see that we battle with this blinding condition for this 5-year-old Indian orphan, trying to help her restore eyesight, bring her out of darkness. And I found that a fetus does not scar, but how can you do research to help cajole the 5-year-old Indian child? How can I do research on fetus without hurting a baby? They say there's no common ground between faith and science. Is that really true? I studied the problem common ground finding and also pray to Christ for wisdom. And long story short, that working with other scientists, we realized we can use the amniotic membrane, the placenta. So after much research, I developed the amniotic membrane contact lens, which when placed on injured eyes, significantly reduced the scar, restoring eyesight. Today, amniotic membrane contact lens, which is what the film site is featuring, is now used in nearly all nations, and millions of patients have had eyesight restored. It's a $5 billion industry a year. Even though I did not make any money because I donated my patent in the beginning, I'm happy that the technology has transformed the world. As we get older, our eyes get drier. This patient in her 70s, and drying eye, very uncomfortable. She came to us, we put a amniotic contact lens on. She now can see and no pain. So amniotic membrane contact lens, which is the film site shows the story of invention, shows not only medical technology that transformed the world, but also science and faith can work together. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. We have some of the best technologies because of my dual degree in laser physics and MD. And there's some research published in paper in journal Nature. And published 10 textbooks of ophthalmic technology, surgery technology, to help surgeons from around the world to improve their weak area, which is technology. 7 of these textbooks have been translated into Mandarin Chinese. I was the first Chinese American to serve on US Ophthalmic Device Panel, FDA, and we are training surgeons from around the world. We performed the world's first laser artificial cornea implantation. There are 5 human eye conditions, all of us affected at some point: myopia, hyperopia, astigmatism, presbyopia, and cataract. All 5 conditions can be treated. For example, left upper corner, SMILE is replacing LASIK. LASIK is becoming obsolete. It's now replaced by better technology called SMILE, small incision LASIK. Lower left corner is implantable contact lens. In the middle is the presbyopia or forever young lens surgery. You can get rid of distance and reading glasses. On the right is laser cataract surgery, can be performed with laser or blade. Even though these 4 technologies are the best that humankind has to offer in the world today in year 2025, but even in the United States, only 5% of surgeons are performing it. The rest are still using older blade technology. Why? Because technology is so fast driven, and the doctors are still in the process of learning new technologies. So the United States only using this top 4 technologies only 5% of the time, but at our center, we use 100%. We're leading the nation in the percent of high-tech application in laser eye surgery. On the right upper corner, you see the Vision Zoom every Tuesday. Next one is October 21st, which is in your chat room. You're welcomed. If you have any question, you can email me with your medical question in the lower left corner, my email address. So this is SMILE. This is the forever young lens surgery. And this is laser cataract surgery. I've been back to China to help China develop new technology, improve the level of high eye care, perform the first all-laser LASIK in China. Now here in the United States, in Nashville, Tennessee, our patients are from all over the world. The film site talk about our foundation to help blind orphan children. This is a Kajol's real person in life. And as I mentioned, during Cultural Revolution, I had to learn dancing. Now to escape labor camp, now become a hobby to develop medical charity called the Eyeball. And also Erhu, I learned during Cultural Revolution to escape labor camp, now use it to combine East and West. I have established Tennessee Immigrant Minority Chamber of Commerce to help Latino Americans, Asian Americans, African Americans. As a Christian, I talk about faith and science as common ground. As Chinese American, we feel that we need to stand up, tell our stories. And so this part of my brief talk about my life so far is science is a tool and faith is the purpose. And based on my autobiography, the film site has been made. So I'm going to finish my introduction part with the 2-minute movie trailer. You can turn up your computer sound a little bit. The film won the ICVM International Christian Film Award as the best picture. So here we are, the film site.
I'm going to help you see again.
You said it was impossible.
Ah, there he is, the good doctor.
You're going to be on the cover of the Tennessee Herald tomorrow morning. You may get a date out of this.
Not that picture.
Very funny.
Our pro bono office got a call from India. A little girl, 6 years old.
Apparently, street beggars make more money if they're legitimately blind. So the stepmother poured sulfuric acid in each of her eyes.
I'm going to help you see again, Kajan.
Is it true that multiple doctors declared your patient irreversibly blind?
Yes, I developed this new breakthrough technology. Here we go. Can you see the light?
No. I can't see anything.
I have this patient from India. She reminds me of some things in the past that I can't get over.
The present is made possible by the past.
A long time ago back in China, there was an uprising in my hometown. Many bad things happened.
So we came to America.
Yes.
It's hard getting into medical school, but you coming from China, don't waste your time.
You cannot change the past, Ming. I feel like I'm stuck.
Hello, doctor. This is Maria.
We want to give her a chance to see again.
I don't even know if I can perform surgery anymore. I left you.
Stop it.
I need to just let go. I just don't want Maria to end up like a job.
Can only do our best. I'm with you, Ming. We can do this.
I refuse to believe there is no purpose.
I will be praying for you.
The job is teaching me that there's more to life than what you see. We have to keep going.
Thought you said it was impossible.
Can you see yourself, Maria?
I'm so pretty.
After the film was shown throughout the United States, for people in 40 states, 365 days, Chinese in America, in terms of telling our stories. The film is being shown and distributed by NG Studios. If you can take a picture, if you share this free link, with people, you're literally helping our Sci Foundation. So more people will know our work for helping blind orphan children, and more blind orphan children could be helped. So I appreciate you take a picture and share this free side screen link with friends. So more people see it, more people know the foundation's work in helping blind orphan children, and more of the children can be helped. Next Shi Ban Gong Bei is November 19th, Wednesday, as I mentioned. So we're going to start today's session now. If you're interested in receiving the book, remember you can email me your mailing address. So one of the questions I get from people is how much I'm going to improve the efficiency. It's up to 1,000% with the Shi Ban Gong Bei study. Why? How so much? Because Jonathan Haidt mentioned in his seminal New York Times bestseller is that we are 90% irrational, therefore inefficient. However, if we are emotionally inefficient, but we're random error, we cannot be corrected. How can Dan Ariely, who wrote the book Predictably Irrational, saying that we're irrational, but we're predictable. So standing on the shoulder of these two giants, I wrote my third book, Shi Ban Gong Bei. Basic idea is very simple. By systematically study our irrationality, the inefficiency, then apply the seldom applied logic, we can in fact improve the 90% of ourselves, which is the irrational part. And since we can convert 90% from irrational, inefficient, to rational and sufficient, we can actually improve the efficiency by 10 times or 1,000%. So Shi Ban Gong Bei essentially studies 77 human nature-driven, irrational, therefore inefficient behaviors, and show how we can apply logic to overcome them, so therefore be able to do things much more efficiently. On average, I myself use about 5 to 10 pros every day. So I've been tremendously helped by these 77 pros as well. We'll talk about many of these pros. Today, the first 40 pros I will rush through, simply reading it. And from 50 to 59, we will go through more detail. Pro 1, in partnership, the person is more important than the project. In partnership, who your partner is more important than what you'll be doing together. Examine the character of a potential partner before entering into a business relationship with him or her. With the right partner, you may be able to do the right thing, but with the wrong partner, you may never be able to do the right thing. Pro 2. In solving a problem, on the other hand, the matter is more important than the person. When addressing a problem, you should not focus on the personal attributes of the person who made the mistake. If you do, you will place the focus on the person, him or herself, which may then incite his or her ego and create an emotional barrier that could cause him or her to never be able to see the issue itself. Therefore, you should focus on the issue instead of the person. The goal is to solve the problem and improve the system, and not to blame on a particular person. Pro 3. Life is a two-way street. If you need someone to assist you with your project, you first need to do everything possible you can yourself to help that person with his or her project. Then he or she will be more willing to help you with yours. A person who always will want to just take but never give will never be successful. Pro 4. Make it easy for others to help you. If you need help with your project, you need to first accomplish as much as you can yourself. Don't be lazy. If the person from whom you need help sees that you truly care about your own project, that you have already done as much of it as you can yourself before you ask for help, then he or she will be more willing to assist you. Furthermore, the more you have done yourself prior to asking for help, the less he or she will actually have to do. So therefore, the easier it will be for him or her to do it, to help you. Number 5, why I'm here today. Whatever you're doing, always be willing to step back for a moment, look at the whole situation, and ask yourself this key question. Ultimately, what is the real reason or purpose of me being here today? 6. Identify the number one task. When faced with many challenges, rank them in order of importance, so you can devote most of your attention to the number one task. The ability to rank is at the core of human experience. Pro 7. Applying logic to everything you do. Apply logic to everything you do, whether it's big or small, and ask yourself this question: does it actually make logical sense? Or how can I improve logically how to solve this problem? Pro 8. Check things orthogonally. When you check something for accuracy, try not to use the same method that you have used to obtain the initial result to begin with. Because if there's an error with the method, you are likely to make the same mistake again. You're much more likely to catch an error if you see a completely different and unrelated, therefore orthogonal in logic, method the second time. 9. Focus on content before form. Content is more important than form, and substance is more important than formality. 10. Focus only on what you do and the things you can control. Don't worry about what others do. Focus only on what you yourself can do. Do not waste any time on things that are not under your control. Focus only on things you can do and change. 11. Learn from others' mistakes. Learn from the mistakes of others, so hopefully you won't have to make the same mistakes yourself. 12. Stay focused on the point. Don't be distracted by examples that people use. Always keep your focus on the issue itself. 13. Don't try to change someone else. Adapt and change yourself. You cannot change another person anyway, but you can change yourself. Your ideal work partner should be someone who, at the onset, already possesses many attributes that will enable you to work well together. If adjustments are needed after you begin working together, adapt and change yourself. 14. Success is measured by effort, not by the result. Success is not defined by how much we have accomplished, but whether or not we have made the best effort. If you've done your best in everything you've done, then you are successful. 15. People will do what others have done in a similar situation. If you want someone to do something, first try to identify and then convey to him or her what others in a similar situation have done previously, since people generally feel more comfortable doing something which has been done by others who have been in their shoes. 16. Can I do this a little bit better? Whatever you're part of, whether it's a process or product, always be willing to ask yourself this question. Can I do this a little bit better? 17. Help others recall the issue first. When you follow up with someone on an issue, remember that although you're fully aware of it, since it is your issue, he or she may not be. So first try to help the person recall what it's all about, so he or she wouldn't have to spend extra time, him or herself, figuring that out. If the individual has to do that, he or she may very well end up not doing the things you want him or her to do, because it seems like it's just too much trouble. And remember, it is not even his or her own project to begin with. 18. Always be prepared with a backup plan. Whatever you do, go into it fully prepared with at least a plan B and sometimes even plan C. When something unexpected happens and you're not already prepared with an alternative plan, then going back to the drawing board is a total waste of time. 19. Improve the system itself. When solving a problem, don't be satisfied with only solving the problem itself. Instead, try to examine the system from which the problem arose in the first place and find a way to improve the underlying system itself. 20. Identify the real intention of a person. The real intention of a drunkard is not necessarily in the wine. Someone may appear to want something, but he or she may really want something else. 21. Listen and then speak. Listen first. Let people finish what they're saying, and then speak. If you wait, you will avoid speaking prematurely. 22. Among life's uncertainties, identify the few things that are indeed certain. When faced with many uncertainties, identify among them the few things that are indeed certain, then you hang your hat on them. 23. At least try. If you don't even try, you have zero chance to succeed. But if you try, even when you only have 1% chance of succeed, it is still much better than the 0. 24. 3 criteria to determine if you do need to solve a problem. Number 1, does the problem indeed exist? Number 2, if it exists, is it really a big problem that should be resolved right now? Number 3, even if the problem does exist and it is a big problem, do you have to resolve it right now? By applying these 3 criteria, you actually save lots of time in problem solving. 25. On what does human happiness depend? It's not how much you have, nor how much you want, that determines your happiness in life. Human happiness depends on the distance between how much you have and how much you want. The smaller that distance is, the happier you are. 26. Restate the question, please. Before we try to answer questions, sometimes it's helpful to ask, could you please restate the question again? Clarifying what has actually been asked of you is often half of the battle. 27. Goal of life. The goal of life is not about seeing how much we have accomplished, but rather if we are happy throughout the journey. Life is not about feeling that we have arrived at wherever. It is about enjoying the process of trying to get there. 28. you can actually change the reality around you. The traditional system is that you can't really change the surrounding of the reality around you. This is actually wrong. The fact is you can change your surroundings. For example, if you're always positive, always choosing to do something rather than not trying it at all, always deciding to look at the glass half full rather than glass half empty, then eventually you will find that the people around you have all somehow magically changed and now are all happy. How did you change the surrounding like that? Well, that's because you yourself has caused the change. You have chosen to be positive, and you are actually the one who has created a similar happy reality and environment around you. So you see, you can change it if you choose to. Your subjective choice does influence the objective criteria or reality around you. 29. Do everything a little bit better. Contrary to popular belief, people who are successful in life often do not have incredible, earth-shattering, unique skills or secret that other people don't have. They're just a little bit more diligent and alert, that's all. Always watching, with everything they do, try to find the opportunity to maximize their effort in order to do a little bit better than others. They may just be doing 1% better on this than you, but cumulatively, they eventually end up doing much better in life overall than most of us. 30. 90% of what we think is happening to us is actually our reaction to it. Of all the things that we think is happening to us, 10% is indeed the things that are happening to us over which we have no control, but 90% actually is our reaction to it. Therefore, we do have control on our reaction. So if we can improve our subjective reaction, we can in fact control 90% of what we believe to be objective things, bad things that happen to us. Yin and yang. Life, it's about balance. Yin and yang. Going to one extreme often generates exactly the opposite effect of what you initially intended. If you're extreme in your effort at something, you can actually end up being non-productive and bad at accomplishing the desired goal. 32. Before you speak, first rank your answer or answers. People pay the most amount of attention to what you say first. So before you ask a question or answer one, first think it through in your own mind, and then ask the most important questions first. Similarly, when we're answering a question, figure out in your top and most critical answer first and then state that. 33. A frog at the bottom of a well. Each of us is a frog at the bottom of a well, i.e. our perspective, basis for judgment, and opinions are limited by our own experience and exposure. We look up and see a small patch of clear sky and believe that it is actually a beautiful day. However, when we climb out of the well up to the ground level and we are now able to look around at the entire sky, we may then realize it's actually a cloudy day. We see that small patch of sky that we're able to see earlier when we're at the bottom of the well was actually not representative of the whole sky. 34. The goal of our communication. The goal of our communication should not be just to get a chance to just talk. The goal should be to make sure that our listeners do understand what we're talking about. Don't just continue talking and be oblivious to whether or not your listener understands or even cares at all at what you're talking about. 35. The best teacher. Contrary to popular opinions, the best teacher is not someone who knows the most, but rather is someone who knows the most about what his or her students know. 36. People may be wrong, but they still want to be respected and heard. Although people may be wrong, they still want to be respected and heard. So respect them and let them fully express their opinion and consider these opinions carefully. 37. Left and right brain, 1 + 1 more than 2. A right brain dominant person is supposed to be creative and artistic, and one that is considered left brain is rational and logical. However, we should not be limited by these classifications. So for example, I'm a right brain person, so I'm not good at logical things. Instead, engage your right brain to help you with logical tasks, such as applying artistry to a precision eye surgery, and summon your left brain to help you with creative work, such as applying mechanical and physics principles in, say, ballroom dancing learning. Rather than treating them as two separate halves, our right and left brain are meant to work together, ladies and gentlemen, synergistically. It is an actual situation where 1 + 1 equals more than 2. 38. Don't do it. Don't write it. If you don't want someone who knows what you're doing, then simply don't do it. If you don't want some people to read what you have written, then simply just don't write it. 39. Don't criticize unless you have a better idea. If you do not have a better idea, then shut up. Keep your mouth closed. If you want to criticize something, always be ready to offer what you believe is a better choice. So life is not about the perfect choice. Life is about better choices. Pearl 40. The ultimate drive in life. The ultimate drive in life is to love what you do. If you don't love, then change what you do. So now we're in a new situation today. We're studying the next 10 pearls, and I'm going to tell a little bit story behind each of these pearls, a little bit more detailed elaboration and explanation. 41. Maintaining fairness, independent of human bias and favorism. A system is truly fair if it is independent of the identity of any particular person who is placed in that position or system. Sometimes, we argue about whether something's fair or not fair. So Pearl 41 is suggesting a very simple criteria. A system is truly fair if it has nothing to do with the identity of any particular person in that post. So remove the person, remove the human factor, to examine this position and its relationship with other positions to assess if this is fair. 42. The ultimate failure. A human being, if left to his own vices, is bound to become corrupt, since we are all selfish in nature. The best way to develop a child incorruptive system, a solid incorruptive system, is not rely upon any assumption of the goodness or selfishness of human being. It should be a fair system, and no one should be above the system. As a matter of fact, as an immigrant from many different countries, we love America because we feel it has a fair system. There's law, there's privacy protection, there's a fair system. However, America has changed. Today is no longer the country that respects differences. In fact, it's going the other way. So I feel very strongly about that. That is why the film's site is to demonstrate, doesn't matter you're East and West, at the end of the day, we're very much the same as human beings. We all desire the same thing: peace, security, love, and respect. "43. Today is important too. Yesterday is what we have done. Tomorrow is about what we will do. But how about today? Should today merely just serve to remember what we did yesterday? Or should be today just merely to serve to prepare what we'll be doing tomorrow? That is actually not fair. If a day has a day right, today has its own day right. It has the right to be its own day. We often tell ourselves to focus on today, focus on the moment. That's because we naturally do not do that. Think about it. The reason we need to actually consistently remind ourselves as such is because we naturally don't do that. We do not pay attention to today. You know what's human nature is that we tend to focus on past and or tomorrow, but we simply tend to forget about today. So we need to change. Today has its own day right. 44. A truly fair business deal. A truly fair business deal is one in which you can picture yourself stepping into your partner's shoes. And when you look at the deal from that perspective, it is still fair. Then the system is fair. In all human interactions, always be willing to look at things from others' perspective. That's how you find the common ground, overcome the polarization. 45. Establish validity first before you examine the efficacy. If Johnny always tells lies, you're not going to listen to anything that he says, right? Because, so before you consider what the person has to say, first is spending some time to figure out his or her validity. Only evaluate what the person actually says after you have the chance to establish the validity, whether he or she is reliable, whether he or she's opinion, whatever it is indeed worth considering. So always make sure any information you get, examine the validity or authenticity of the source first. "46. Never assume that you're the smartest person in the world." Wow, this pearl I learned so many times. I found that when I do something different, then I make the assumption I'm smarter than other people. That's why I do something different. I always turn out to be wrong. I found that we're all different. Some people may be a little smarter or whatever, but we are very much the same. If for that thing, my method of doing is different from other people, most likely it's because I have not considered all possibilities. Meaning most of the people are smart. They usually choose the best course of action. So don't assume you're the smartest person in the world. 47. Start with the big picture. You cannot see the forest from the trees, so always start with the big picture, the forest, before being bogged down with the individual details. That I realized that it is so important because I go to different meetings. This week I'll be going to 4 or 5 meetings. And these meetings, when people speak in these meetings, often they did not see the big picture. They will talk about a small thing. So the ability to see big picture, it has to be trained. We have to learn how to do that. How to see the forest while we're among the trees. 48. Kill many birds with one stone. The best way to improve efficiency is to identify the commonalities among the tasks you need to do and try to do just one or very few things that will take care of everything. So really trying to look for opportunities to increase efficiency. One stone kill many birds. 49. Improve the methodology of doing something. 99% of us focus on accomplishing a job, but only 1% do more than that. After the job is done, 99% will move on to their things, but the 1% lingers a little bit longer, ponder and reflect. Can I do this sort of things a little bit better the next time around? Has another person finished this job in a way that was actually better than mine? What can I learn from this experience so I can improve the way I do things in the future? The nature of the work that we do will not stay with us, since we'll do different things. but the improvement in our methods doing things, which are made by learning from the experience, will indeed stay with us and benefit us for the future. You see, when we do things, it can be why we do it, what we do, and how we do it. Why, what, how. People tend to jump immediately into what and how. But actually, the most important is figure out why we do certain things. Also, do you know what stayed most constant in terms of human life? If you walk through life, a lifetime, what tends to stay most important? Is the why you do things? Is what you do? Or is it how you do it that stay longest? It's going to be, the life, less change throughout life. Is the how. Because if a person, say, is not honest, the person does not respond immediately, poor communicator, guess what? That's going to reflect in everything he or she does. Doesn't matter why and what. She does these other things, or he does these other things, it will be the same. Poor communication, don't follow through. So among what and what, why and what how, is the how that stay with us for the rest of life. So if you're in school, you're studying, you're reading books, it's about improving your how. Because tomorrow you're certainly going to do different things, and associate with different things, different what, your why changes also. So how we do things is the most important thing for us, as a human being. We have to focus on training to improve the aspect, the methodology, how we do it. 50. To be successful is to work selectively. People say that to be successful, one has to be talented and work hard. While these two factors are indeed two of the top 3 qualities need to be successful, however, neither is actually number 1. The most important thing to do if you want to be successful is to work intelligently by selecting only a few things and focus on them and doing the best you can with these few things. The goal is not to continue adding to your to-do list, but rather to work on substantial, various different things on your plate until there's actually nothing left to subtract. Okay, so subtracting. So life is not about adding things to your plate. It's about the ability to subtract things from your plate. So therefore, you can focus on less things, you can do a better job. When you focus on less number of things to do. #51. Maximum alignment, minimal work. Wow, this pearl I've benefited so much. I'm still working on it. Several things I'm working on because I accidentally violate this pearl. In the business collaboration, maximum alignment of interest in the beginning produces minimal work together. The opposite is also true. Minimal alignment of interest among various parties early on in the project often ends up necessitating a lot and often unproductive work later. So spend more time trying to align the interest of all the participants. Make sure, because better alignment in the beginning, the less trouble later. Alignment of interests are very different key players. 52. Clearly state the issue first. Clearly define the issue first, and then you're actually already halfway there. I found that lots of time when somebody presents a problem to me, I find it's very profitable if I ask the person to first explain once again what is exactly the problem. By making that person explain again exactly what the problem is, I tend to be able to more effectively solve the problem. 53. Fiduciary responsibilities. The fiduciary responsibility of the leader is to listen and carefully consider a team member's suggestion. And the fiduciary responsibility of a team member is to accept a leader's final decision and just do it. So we are in the different businesses. Sometimes we say, what's the responsibility of the leader? What is responsibility of the member in the team? I learned that this fiduciary responsibility is tremendous. It's very helpful. When somebody in my clinic suggests something to me, I always explain to that person, that staff, it's my responsibility to listen. It's my responsibility to make sure that at the end of your asking your question, when I repeat back to you, I have accurately got exactly what you're asking, and I give adequate consideration. So that's my fiduciary responsibility to my staff. But that staff person has fiduciary responsibility to me as well as the leader. That is, once he or she is comfortable after making sure that I did hear his or her suggestion, I have duly considered, then follow my final decision. Because I'm the leader, the buck stops here. Okay? So in the team, the leader and the members have different fiduciary responsibility to each other. 54. More important doing things is to learn how to behave while doing it. More important than learning how to do something is to learn how to behave while doing it. And lots of people don't realize that. For example, some students ask me, say, Dr. Wang, how come you give Johnny the project, you did not give it to me? That's because that you did not learn how to do it. You're very, rough and not careful with your project. And guess what? If you are not careful with the project, I'm not going to give you more project because you will behave the same way. A person, in terms of how they do things, simply does not change. So we need to, each of us, try to change, try to learn. When we do something, don't look at just that thing we're doing, but recognize through doing that thing, we're actually learning how to behave as human beings. 55. A dumb person eats something bitter. One is actually happier if one thing turned out to be not good, but was actually one's own initial decision to do it. Since there's now no one else to blame except oneself. This is like a dumb person eating something bitter. He or she can't actually speak up about the bitterness. The opposite is also true. That is, one tends to be more unhappy if the decision to do something was made by someone else. So now one has someone else to blame. So in life, each person needs to make his or her own decision and take all the responsibilities as such. As human beings, we actually end up being happier that way. So I always tell my family members and tell friends that you can try to tell someone, don't do this, do that, but at the end of the day, respect. At the end of the day, let that person make that decision, him or herself. Because if he or she make the decision, him or herself, then if things did not happen, interestingly, he or she will be happier than if you make that decision for him or her. 56. A way to make yourself happier, which does work every time for me. Human beings have become unhappy when we unwisely compare what we have with the ideal and often non-existent alternatives. So the way to make ourselves happier, which does work every time, is to compare your current situation only with the existing given alternatives. As long as your current situation is better than the other existing alternatives that you have, then you'll be happy. So it's not about, well, I'm not happy with this job. Ask yourself, what few other jobs you could have? That you could have two other jobs. You're at the job B, and you could have job A and C. Then it's not about whether you're happy with B or not. It's comparing with job A and job C. Is it compared with them? Are you the happiest in the B? So life, it's not about comparing with ideal non-existent alternatives. It's about comparing existing alternatives. 57. Life is about picking the tallest among dwarfs. We sometimes are stuck in inaction because we feel that the method we have is still not the perfect one. Well, the 100% ideal method actually does not exist. So as long as we are considering the best among existing choice of method, then let's just do it. Ideal tall height does not really exist at all. Life is about picking the tallest among dwarfs. 58. Within the last 3 pros now. 58. Double security. For important things, always double security. For example, when you send an email to someone about event, if it's really important event, do not just type in just date or type in just day of the week. Type in both. Type in both. Since the chance of you making a mistake in both the date and day is very slim. I suggest all of you start looking at the email you get or text you get and see how shockingly people don't follow this rule. They will say, hey, Johnny, can you come in on October 31st having lunch? It's like, what day of the week is that? It's like, it depends on which day of the week. I may or may not be at the time. But people don't do that. So you have to look into the calendar and figure out what October 31st is, what day of the week. You know? So it's more trouble. So you're more likely not going to respond to him. Right? Also, by him has to type in both date and the day of week, it's very unlikely he's going to make a mistake in both date and day of the week. But sometimes, you know, you get some text, hey, Johnny, can you come to lunch on Tuesday? What he really meant is Wednesday. Or he could say, Johnny, can you come to lunch October 30th? Well, what he really meant was 31st. But guess what? If he develop a habit of always typing date and day of week at the same time, not only will help you, because you figure out if you can make it not more easily, because you know the day of the week, but also it's much will significantly reduce the chance of he citing a wrong date. 59. Focus on improving yourself. Some people live by focusing on the errors of others, or even trying to sabotage others like a competitor. A much better, productive way of living, however, is to focus on yourself. How to improve yourself. It's really, really interesting. Really interesting. I've learned that in myself that sometimes I complain. I want to focus on what others do. John doesn't do that. Nancy doesn't do that. Much more productive way of living is focus on what I can do that or not. The final pro today, 60, is this. While in safety, think of danger. Even when things are going well, don't be complacent. Think of things that could go wrong. And if they do, how would you deal with them? It's human nature not to do that. If we're doing well, we don't think of what if. So always think of what if. In a good situation, always prepare for if it's not good. So you are somewhat prepared how to deal with it, and you would be much more effective. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for 77 pros, we now covered 60. And next time, we will cover the next 10. So people always ask, the Shi Ban Gong Bei pros, how much I can improve efficiency? Well, we can improve 1,000%. One of the questions I got asked by friends all through my life is, Ming, how many hours in a day do you have? You know, you do all these things in life. Do you have like 48 hours? My answer always surprised them. I would say sometimes I feel like a 72 or 96 hours. Why? Because I use these pros. Because we're 90% irrational, but because we are predictably irrational, that's why standing on the shoulder of the two giants, I published my third booklet called Shi Ban Gong Bei, How to Accomplish Double in Half the Time. Basic idea is by systematic study our irrational, therefore inefficient but predictable behaviors, we can apply predictable logic. Since 90% is irrational, if we change the 90% of us into rational, logical, we can improve the efficiency 10 times or 1,000% improving efficiency. So Shi Ban Gong Bei is about my identification throughout my lifetime, 77 human nature-driven, irrational, therefore inefficient behaviors, and then apply logical, rational solution to each of the 77 irrational behaviors. Our next one is November 19th, Wednesday, 7:30. Please take a picture of the screen, so you're welcome to join us. And also, if you're interested in the book, please email me your mailing address, and I'll be happy to mail a book to you. And Dr. Ming Chen, the host of Shi Ban Gong Bei, also have his contact information as well. Again, if you're interested, you just go ahead and email me your mailing address, and I'll mail the Shi Ban Gong Bei book to you as a gift. If you're interested in the foundation, to help in the foundation, you can visit wangfoundation.com and hit the donate button. For $25, you get a signed copy of the autobiography, and the proceeds go to the foundation to help more blind orphan children. And finally, really appreciate if you can help our site foundation by passing or sharing this free site watching link. By having more people watch the site through this free link, more people will know the foundation's work in helping blind orphan children. Therefore, more blind orphan children could be helped around the world. So really, by sharing this free side movie link, you're literally helping us to help more blind orphan children. Thank you. So what I'd like to do is open up for questions. Anybody has a question about the Shi Ban Gong Bei pearls? So Dr. Chen, I want to thank you for the time and effort in bringing this together. We have a few interesting attendees. We have Max Lee, our old friend. We have Shenyang Aier, Xia Jianping. We have Bing Tang, Tang Bing. And we also have a few folks. And in the chat room, everybody in the chat room is my Vision Zoom next October 21st, Tuesday, and also Shi Ban Gong Bei Zoom. Next one is November 19th, Wednesday, and also the link to the film site, and also in the China free link and United States free link. And Dr. Ming Chen also posted the latest Shi Ban Gong Bei Pro Zoom video has been released, and which is September 24th. By visiting this link, you will actually be able to watch these videos of previous Shi Ban Gong Bei link as such. Dr. Chen, how many people you have on your list now? You are muted, Dr. Chen.
Almost 2,000.
Wow, 2,000 people.
Yeah,
that's good.
very good. Now.
So people are interested. So we just have to make sure, Dr. Chen, we send the notice to as many people as we can. Because I suspect people may not actually know the time of these monthly Zooms as such. So let's think about a way to do a better job. I think you sent to a WeChat, a reminder. I post on the Moments of WeChat, and I really appreciate if you can think of anything possible that we can send to people in the day or two leading up to the Shi Ban Gong Bei as such, so we can more people attending the Vision Zoom as such. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Wang.
Yeah. I see my good friend Lana is on. Lana, how are you? Lana, you're muted.
You are muted yourself.
Oh, Dr. Wang.
Thank you again for attending. You are two very loyal attendees for the Shi Ban Gong Bei. Really appreciate it.
Dr. Wang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to thank both of you. I want to thank you for the messages. I'm going to tell the group right now, Dr. Wang's birthday is next week. So we all prematurely embrace good thoughts for you. We wish you we wish you another good year. And for all the goodness you share, we thank you. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lana. And I'll be 36 again.
No, no, I thought it was 35.
That's right. You know, have to be truthful. So 36. But thank you. Thank you. But Lana, also I want to mention that I am so relieved with this recent peace that came into Middle East, because it was such a horrendous 2 years, horrific and just, you know, stressful, right? October 7th, Hamas attack on the Israeli citizens in a concert, and it just 2 years, war and bloodshed. And why I feel, you know, obviously angry at these Hamas terrorists, but the thing is, at some point we need to bring peace, you know, to the region. But I'm glad at least the fighting has stopped, and I really hope that Hamas can be disarmed, and that there's some hope for regional stability in that part of the world.
I appreciate the kindness that you always extend. And I know it comes from the heart. And for all of you who are listening, do a kind thing. Always do a kind thing. Dr. Wang always says things that are appropriate for what's going on in our current events. And the brutality of what was experienced by the hostages is greater than what we can imagine. But as a celebration for Dr. Wang's birthday, let's try to do something good in the next couple weeks. And when you do it, say, happy birthday, Dr. Wang. That one was for you. So we send you the best of greetings from sunny California. We didn't have any rain today, so we won't be on the news. But happy birthday, my dear friend. And all of you, please, as a birthday gift, quietly embrace the goodness of Dr. Wang.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do it as a birthday gift. And then after you've done it as a birthday gift, continue doing it.
Thank you. Thank you, Lana. That's a wonderful thought, that if we all think about doing something worthwhile, helping others, beneficial to this world, that in many ways that we cannot change others, we can change ourselves, right?
I've used your quote in the past since our last meeting and our last Zoom, and I've told about the 90 and the 10%.
Yes.
I have said it so many times, and if all of you would start embracing those numbers of the 90% emotional and 10% logical, maybe you can tap into a few of the messages that Dr. Wang has graciously given to us. But remember, all of you, we got to do something for his birthday. So do the kindness that he exemplifies.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, good idea. Do something kind to somebody. So celebrate life, what we have, you know, the blessing. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Lana. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Chen, I'm gonna get off to another meeting actually. So we'll moving on. And I'll see everybody November 19th, Wednesday, for the next Shi Ban Gong Bei Zoom. Same time, same place. And this coming Tuesday, October 21st. There's a vision Zoom. Thank you, Dr. Chen. He's in the chat room. He's throwing down some birthday cakes.
Happy birthday to Dr. Wang.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, we got 2 birthdays here.
Yeah,
me too. I'm is October 4th.
Just passed. Just passed.
Yeah, Dr. Wang is October 24th.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday.
Same October.
Yeah, I can.
What day is it?
4th. For Dr. Chen is 4th.
Yeah,
mine's
I'm
24th. Yeah.
Dr. Wang is October 24.
Yeah.
Okay, a final comment. Thank you for organizing this. It's been wonderful. And you've helped Dr. Wang, but more so, you've helped all of us. So belated happy birthday greetings and current birthdays to you, Dr. Wang.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday to Dr. Wang.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
you. And you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And yeah, Dr. Chan's actually an MD in Houston, Texas. He's helping, volunteering his time. Really appreciate it. Okay, everybody, be safe, be good. We'll see you November 19th, Wednesday, the next Shi Ban Gong Bei Zoom. Okay, or anybody interested in Vision Zoom this coming Tuesday, October 21st. It's all in the chat room as such. Thank you. Thank you, Lana. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Wang.
you.
Happy birthday, boys.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
好，谢谢建平、小夏，谢谢海飞，谢谢
Thank you,
everybody，
everyone.
谢谢 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.